Good evening, my fellow citizens of the Republic of Sierra Leone. This is our sister once again, Sister Gugi from London, the CEO and founder of the Advocates for Good Governance Sierra Leone. We're a registered organization based in Sierra Leone. The date today, now the 15th November 2020. I want to use this podium and our platform for that do a summary of we talk show today, where we a particularly host, and the name of the talk show is How Can We Work Together as Sierra Leoneans to put Sierra Leone first instead of political parties? In other words, how we Sierra Leoneans were able to work together, follow we put Sierra Leone first instead of political parties. So the responses what we particularly get from the hosts, from the guests them, I want to try for do a summary of that as it don't particularly come to the attention of the Advocates for Good Governance Sierra Leone say others than the struggle in the Republic of Sierra Leone for megabytes. So they really want for watch we talk show, but because of the low megabytes, they're not able for download we talk show for watch them, and then go appreciate them if we go to do summary of we talk show. So I want for maximize this opportunity and or platform for that just do a summary of the talk show today. Based on the responses from the guests, it came to the attention of the Advocates for Good Governance Sierra Leone say, for let we work together, it go help us it go lead to we country for progress and move ahead. Again, we need to get an independent institutions in the Republic of Sierra Leone. Again, it will also help us follow we live as nation. Again, development, we go able to achieve development again if we decide for work together and we decide for put the country first instead of political parties them. Again, we also get for build foundation where we go use as a rock. We go particularly we go able for using the Republic of Sierra Leone for like able for sustain the country itself, like able for sustain the Sierra Leoneans, and like able for unite us as Sierra Leoneans instead of trying to divide us as a result of political affiliation and or belief. Again, we look at the agriculture aspects, how we go able for how a country will become a successful country. For let a country will become a successful country, it comes to the attention of the Advocates for Good Governance Sierra Leone say the basic necessity, the basic needs of the people then get for any government of the day get for work tirelessly for meet the basic needs of the people them. However, the people don't need motor car, they don't need for go build for their houses, but if they're able to get those basic necessity, the needs of the people them, where now water, food and medication, that's go able for help the country for become successful among other things now where then go able for take into consideration as well. So we talk about agriculture, particularly for focus on agriculture, so that we're able for make we own food and get sufficient food in the Republic of Sierra Leone, as we know say nobody know they were able for live without food. Again, it comes to the attention of the Advocates for Good Governance Sierra Leone. So we get for be honest within ourselves and we get for respect one another as Sierra Leoneans. Again, it comes to the attention of the Advocates for Good Governance Sierra Leone. So we therefore believe in our ability, respect one another, and believe say yes, we are able to come together and work together as Sierra Leoneans for we progress the country instead of we just focus on political parties and or political affiliation and or interest. Again, it comes to the understanding say the approach where they're able for take for let we go able for unite ourselves, for let we go able for put our country first instead of political party. We get for being nationalistic. Again, we get a response as removing people unlawfully from their job or as well as for intimidate them. It comes to the attention of the Advocates for Good Governance Sierra Leone say when you remove somebody unlawfully from your work or you try to intimidate the citizens them, that's now a way of trying for disunite the people them and a way of trying for divide the nation itself. We're not able to come together as a result of that. Again, we want to see a nation where a cohesive nation and fundamentally working for the interests of the people. If a nation there where they work for the interests of the people, then again the citizens then go able to come together and look at it critically for not say yes, you know what, whatever happen, whatever be the case, Sierra Leone is big past any political parties in the Republic of Sierra Leone. Again, We therefore make sure say we be patriotic citizens. Now people wey particularly put their own party, their own their own country first more than everything. When you become a patriotic citizen, then obviously there are things that you do differently from others where they show say yes, you country come first, you country in interest, na income first na the agenda more than any other things where you will consider about. And also come to the attention of the advocates for good governance. Sierra Leone say there are two fundamental poisons where particularly perhaps they go on in the Republic of Sierra Leone. And however, if this poison, we the Sierra Leoneans were not able to clear them out and abolish them, then obviously the country will become stationary, and obviously the people will continue to fight one another and just focus the interest on them party affiliation and or interest for make sure say they just sustain their own political parties instead of the country itself. What are then two poisons there? Tribalistic and as well as regionalism. So tribalism and regionalism, these are the two fundamental poisons in the Republic of Sierra Leone, where it be say if we're not able to consciously try for abolish them, then obviously the country will continue for disunite. It comes to the attention of the advocates for good governance. Sierra Leone say we get to embrace law and order. We get to also protect the fundamental human rights and equality before the law. So for instance, if there is a law and order in the Republic of Sierra Leone, but there is no equality within the law and order, particularly, then obviously we'll realize that the law they work for certain people, but they work for other people. Then if we get law and order in the Republic of Sierra Leone and it become equal, then obviously they realize party A no important than party B, or person number one no important than person number two. It no matter what in you position, it no matter what na you, we all govern under the law and order of the Republic of Sierra Leone, and we are all equal before the law itself. So now this one, and we also realize that we can't forget good governance in the Republic of Sierra Leone. Any governments without good governance, then obviously that particular country, they don't at high risk of becoming a failure. So this one are just a summary of particularly what we get from the talk show itself. And it also comes to the attention of the advocates for good governance. Sierra Leone say there must be a separation of power and the judiciary should be independent. So for let it able for make sure say when you come, you can do me something at taking according obviously, it no matter whether you daddy na in the judge, or it no matter whether na you mommy na in the judge, we they get equal fair and equal treatment, and a decision will be saying they favor anybody else. So it also come to the attention for good governance. Sierra Leone say we get for plan anybody any person where they try for dehumanize. If you try for dehumanize others, then obviously we realize a good governance don't begin compromise in that regard. So this one are just a summary of the talk show where we get today, when at the 15th of November 2020, when a 2 hours talk show, we are able to compress them, try for summarize them within 8-minute video. I hope so now all go learn lesson from this message and realize Sierra Leone a big pass all political parties regardless of any circumstances, and work together for the interests of the country rather than the political affiliation and or belief where you get. So I tell you now, thank you once again for our audience. Now stay blessed. Sister Rugi.